Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Avi, and today I will be playing our local, so fucking stupid detective, Shiro Azumi, and I will be playing a special guest character. He will be introduced later. And with me today are my wonderful friends and co-hosts.
Hey, I am Fletch. I am very happy to be here on this wonderful ride of obbies, and I'm going to be playing the horrible little baby detective known as Camille.
Hello, I am Oatmeal, and I'm going to be playing the professor.
Yeah. And boy, it sure has been a time lately, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, Following off of the last FPS, which was in his defense between Professor and Sai Yoshihiko, who is Azumi's defense attorney. Um, Professor, Sai told you that Azumi's being released from police custody.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Um he is like glad to have him out of the hands of those fools, but that's the only good thing about this because now there's more problems.
Ooh,
Um
boy.
But yeah, I mean like at the end of the FPS, he left Cafe Legree um and went to go find Camille to bring him to the station.
Yeah, Sai did ask for you to to pick up Camille and, come to the station. She is probably. Okay, hi, Maki. She is probably,
Already gone.
she's already gone there, on her own, etc., etc. So you two are, on your way there. Camille!
Mm.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Um, I'm gonna be honest. You put down a mystery in front of him, and he immediately shoves all of his emotional issues to the side to start examining the mystery.
God!
Oh, buddy.
uh, it's it's not him like trying to shove his emotions in the box. It's him being a
It's
detective, and this
habit.
is enrichment.
Ah,
um,
buddy.
Also because it's good to have something actually productive to think about. So,
He's not
he
totally wrong.
yeah, it's better than thinking about all those other Maki.
Lucky.
She has decided to come into my room and stink the place up. Anyway, continue.
Valid. My dog is currently stinking the place up too. Um, but yeah, so he heard that Azumi's out, and he's immediately starting to think about why and trying to put the pieces together. Um, and uh, they're he probably does also, like, the moment they step out, like, hold out his hand to grab, because Okashima's very busy and he's very small, and it is a habit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the professor intends to hold Camille's hand through uh this short trip. And while he does that, that does mean I get to roll. Yay, it's working. Professor, what does your perception?
Oh, we're doing this,
Okay.
huh?
All right. Well, his perception is. Oh, actually, that's good. His perception is a 15.
All right.
Are you
So-
doing the touch base thing? Is that it?
That's the thing.
All right, here we go.
All right, time to roll that percentile die.
Unless you want to carry it from the game that we didn't get to.
That is up to you, Avi. Do you want us to
I can roll it. Give me a sec.
Okay.
Oh shit, it happens.
Oh,
Hey!
all right.
Okay. Would you like to say what the professor sees, or should I?
Up to you. I am indecisive as hell.
I'm also indecisive.
Alright.
I can't even decide how to pronounce the word indecisive, so.
It'd be like that. Anyway, Professor. Gosh, I don't remember what all you saw from the last time you used True Sight on Camille.
Camille, there's like nothing to see, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
because it's not
you see
magical.
past you just see past the disguise self. Otherwise, there's not generally too much funky about him.
Yeah. As I try to find my words. Oh boy. Okay. So you do see the past the disguise and everything, and there's not much else in terms of like Camille looking different, but there is something new in the sense that there is a small blue butterfly resting on Camille's hat.
I think the professor took his hand and took a look at Camille and then looked away and started to move and then looked back and stopped.
Yeah,
Camille,
Camille's. Oh, you go.
Camille, dear, would you hold still a moment?
Camille just blinks and squints, but he's just. Okay.
The professor, because you're heckin' short, kneels to get closer and, just sort of, tilts his head at the butterfly, and he says, "So, what are you doing here?"
I could have Camille be very stupid at this.
You could.
Go ahead.
You could, because I'm going to tell you right now, this butterfly is not capable of directly communicating with you. Or,
That's fair.
at the very least, it doesn't do anything. It just kind of sits there and kind of flaps its wings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Camille sort of squints a bit more, and he's just. I thought I was going to the station with you.
No, absolutely, dear. I'm talking to something else.
Okay.
All right, well, as long as you don't cause any trouble, feel free to tag along, I suppose. And the professor just stands up and keeps going.
Camille's only half-tuned, and this is a real kind country, so it doesn't happen normally, and it has even less opportunities to happen here. But he is so confused that there's actual question marks coming off of him.
Mm-hmm. As there's sort of just like, pushing through the crowds and making their way like through the different pathways. He glances back at Camille and he says, he sort of does like a little shrug and he says, um, something in the ethereal plane is there's a small butterfly that's made your hat its perch.
He'll pauses and sort of squints. It's just, why does everything like my hat?
I don't know.
You see, are you still holding on and doing the true sight, or is that just an instantaneous thing?
It's not instantaneous. It's passive and continuous.
All right, cool. You see the butterfly like flutter from the hat down to Camille's shoulder instead.
Well, now it's on your shoulder. I think this thing may actually be intelligent. I'd suspected as much, but I've seen it before.
You have?
Yes, it was near Arata, back in Haku. That was it. I don't know what it is, but it is the least of my worries right now.
Okay.
That is true. I guess we can worry about that later. Yeah,
Besides,
he is not putting two and two together. That is a history roll. That's an 8. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask you to roll history because Rhoda did mention something about how in Yedo blue butterflies are considered lucky.
Yeah, he was not having any realizations right now. He is taking that, putting it in a box, and setting it off to the side. It's just, yeah, we do have much bigger things to worry about. And he is going to pick up speed as he says that.
Yep. Well, I think probably they reached the station then.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be real. I, me, Avi, don't know anything about the procedures with like releasing someone from police custody. So I'm just gonna say that you do reach the station. I see one of our audience members gonna go off. Not so much advice, more that like I don't know how long it takes.
Yeah, not to mention it is very different from American police.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna hand wave large pieces of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a while and a bunch of paperwork. That tracks.
Yeah. No, that's understandable.
That is universal.
Yeah. Everybody hates that what is that, bureaucracy? Red tape?
Yeah.
Everybody hates it. It is probably like something that is preoccupying a lot of Sai's time. So how do I put this into words? You probably do enter the station. I'm not going to spend time like describing it or anything, but I will say that like Sai is probably off to the side trying to like figure out more stuff. But elsewhere, actually, roll me perception.
Absolutely. Oh, it's on the floor. Great.
Oh no, drop dice.
I keep I keep doing this. All right, here it is. 15.
23.
Yeah.
Camille, you did not need to flex, but we love you anyway.
He's fresh off of a level up. He wants to.
He wants to show off his new mods. What level are you again? 9?
Yeah, he just made it to level 9.
Alright, cool. Don't mind me writing that down for something else later. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just say that you both, get this. There's probably, like, an open office that is not in use by, like, any officers or anything, but you do hear, like, hushed, kind of quiet, conversation in Yiddish.
Mm.
And, you do recognize one of them as Mr. Shiro Azumi.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I have to check something really quick. Let's see, because the professor cast tongues last FPS, and the duration is 1 hour. Would it have taken? It was towards the end of it. Would it have taken more than an hour to get here?
I mean, you also had to pick up Camille, but that depends on where he was.
Well, I mean, because
Probably wasn't too far.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
that case,
I mean, because if it's gone, he's probably just gonna cast it again. I'll just say.
Yeah, Camille does not have tongues, but he does know. He mostly knows Giblian, but he also knows a bit of Yiddish because does the whip and trade partners.
He can cast tongues on Camille.
Yeah, Camille knows enough to like understand and have conversations and such. He just has a very strong Giblian accent to Yiddish people.
Oh, okay, so he doesn't need it.
Yeah, he doesn't need it.
Got it. All right. Well, I'll say Professor has that up, either because he's still here or because he's cast it again.
alright. That's fair. As I quickly clear my throat. And pull up, something that I had earlier. Where the fuck did it go? There it is. This is a very quiet, quiet conversation, that's, happening, out of the way. And, you do notice, Camille, with your 23, god damn, that most of the officers are giving this office, space so that, whatever conversation that is happening there can happen in private. But you do hear... I probably should have practiced the voice beforehand. Oh well. You disappeared for 2 years. Of course I would be worried. Well, I would have told you if I had known what was coming. It's not as though I intended to disappear. You understand the concern, yes? For the past 2 years, people have been saying that you were involved with the ex-Prime Minister's crimes, that you either went into hiding to avoid charges, or that he had you killed. You understand why I would be worried about my Kohai, yes? I do. Of course I understand. But there are many things that I can't explain. Not now.
Well, Professor is going to stride over very obviously around whatever corner is in the way, or whatever dividing thing.
It's probably just a door.
Yeah, he'll just open it and
Does he knock?
nope. Um and he just says, "Hello, Azumi."
Yeah. Shirozumi is standing there. He looks, I wouldn't say surprised. Maybe he is, but he is not giving that like away too clearly.
Mm.
Um, um, but there is also someone else. This young man who is definitely older than Azumi by quite a few years, who
Mm.
is very much shorter than him,
Mm-hmm.
but is definitely carrying himself with a lot more experience, a lot more
Confidence.
confidence. Yeah. Um, and he's dressed in blue. In fact, his whole color scheming seems to be blue. And he is wearing a cap that looks a little similar to Camille's, just
Mm-hmm.
blue, and it has like a little like decorative stripe across the circumference of it, you know. Um, and he does kind of look up at you. But Azumi just kind of sighs and says, "Hello."
I think at that point, Camille probably does poke out from behind Professor.
Mm-hmm.
It took him a little bit longer to get over there because he has much smaller legs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but he's gonna poke out and he is going to incite Azumi because he is handing me that he is very worried.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you didn't have to go off like that. Uh, that would be a dirty 30.
Oh my god!
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, we would love to see it. Oh, as I clear my throat. Oh god. Hey Camille. That was a fucking good roll. Holy shit. Oh my god. I don't know how to respond to that. Hang on, let me give me a sec. Well, I think you have every right to be worried about Azumi. But I can tell you that he is not in the state he was before he entered the station. You know, when he had been like so emotionally distraught, he just kind of shut down. Um, However, it's still not a great state that he's in. He is definitely trying to like put a bit of distance between what you just overheard and himself, because there is a lot going on and he is not entirely sure how to react to it.
Hey. Yeah, I think Camille pokes his head out, sees all of that, and sort of waves like, hey Shiro.
With your fucking 30. With your fucking 30, you do see him, like, he does seem incredibly relieved to see you.
Oh.
Yeah. He probably does greet you again, but, in the meantime, this, other young man, who is in the room kind of just, like, takes a step back for now.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to interrupt.
Are you saying that to Naoya, or?
To Naoya, yeah.
Yeah, continue.
Sorry to interrupt. We were just informed that Azumi was being released.
He gives you a polite nod. I think what he says is, what does he say? I think he asks you outright, are you friends with, Azumi-san?
Well, I consider him my friend, but I don't know if he considers me his friend.
You see Naoya you see this young man look towards Azumi, and, Azumi just kind of glances away, in that kind of, oh no, kind of expression.
Uh-huh.
But the young man definitely does not seem too surprised by this at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think because Camille does have to be a little bit in baby mode. He's just, Shiro's my coworker.
Shiro's his big brother. Professor has a smug look.
That's another score for compartmentalizing. Anyway.
Oh boy. Okay.
I wasn't aware that Azumi-san had siblings.
It's not quite as formal as that, as far as I'm aware.
Listen, he doesn't know that he has that many brothers yet. Don't tell him.
Thank you. What does he say? God, I think he says, well, if you're here, I suppose that means you're familiar with the situation, yes?
Between the two of us, probably the most familiar, yes. Very strange.
Indeed. Doesn't make much sense. Masks knows that the police normally would not do something like this. And he kind of sighs, and you see his shoulders kind of slump, almost like he's stumped. And he just kind of shakes his head before he looks back up at you and says, Detective Naoya Shirahata, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Ah, so that's you. Oh, pleasure to meet, Azumi-sensei. And he will also extend a hand to shake. I'm the professor.
And Naoya shakes her hand.
Okay.
Alright. I already said it was working. What's your perception? Oh, well, that's bull. That's a 8. It's nothing.
Well, Give me a second. As I try to refresh myself on True Sight.
Also, it did say that Camille was a fan of Naoya, right?
Yes. I do remember discussing this with you. Okay.
Okay.
With the true sight, I will say that there does not seem to be... excuse me. There does not seem to be a lot strange with, Naoya.
Mm.
With an 8, there's not a lot I can give you outright, but you do
Yeah.
see a very hazy, kind of large-ish, it's as large as, Naoya, at least, behind him.
Uh-huh. Yep. Well, let's see. What is your deception, Professor? That's, yeah, no, a 24. That's not bad.
Oh,
He
boy.
does not seem to react. Because, this is the first time he's done this, in Yeto and actually gotten a result. Which he is interested in, but he is not going to address it because that's rude. And this is
Yeah.
not the time. But yes,
No,
so
speaking of being rude.
yes. But they've introduced each other.
Yeah, I think once Naoya says his full name, Camille just blinks and turns to Azumi as he's just Naoya Shirahata's your senpai?
Hang on. I should have expected this. Azumi should have expected this. I think what ends up happening is that you do see Naoya like hold back a laugh at that. Because yeah, he knows that kind of reaction. Azumi just kind of sighs and he says, yes, I did study under him when I was becoming more well known in the detective field. And he just kind of, he just kind of glances between Camille and Naoya. And Naoya is still, like, trying not to laugh.
Yeah, Camille was just, and you didn't tell me?
Was it that important?
I didn't know you knew anyone cool.
Oh my god, you're just gonna bully him outright, huh? Just
Listen,
get his
someone
ass.
has to lighten the mood a bit.
Oh, God. I don't even know how he reacts. He's just kind of blinks at that, like, seriously? And I think Naoya actually laughs at that.
Listen, sometimes you have to engage in the nerd side just a bit to lighten the mood.
Oh, you sure do.
Yeah, Camille probably does cross his arms a bit, mock huffily, but he is making his way over to Azumi.
And, you didn't introduce yourself, did you?
He did not.
Alright. I don't know if Azumi's gonna do anything with you just approaching him. But I do think, Naoya does kind of, not really lean down, but he does look in your direction. And, And he says, "And who's this?"
Okay, so we're just gonna hit all the Toon gags today.
Yep.
And before he can stop himself, Camille gives Naoya a big baby grin as he's just, Camille Christie, detective. And then he just sighs.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's cute. So you're a detective as well, then. I can see why you like Azumi-san. It's nice to meet you, Camille.
It's really nice to meet you too. Thank you for looking after Shiro.
And at that, I think he kind of like side glances towards Azumi, because he doesn't know if he'll really call it looking after Azumi, because this is the first time in 2 years that two almost 3 years actually that he's heard that Azumi is still around. But he gives Azumi that side glance before kind of looking back to you, and he says, "It's the least that I can do."
And he does get a smile from Camille at that.
so there have been some odd things that we've found out since you've been in here, Azumi.
And Azumi just does kind of straighten back up, and he looks a little bit more serious now after those gags. Thank you, Camille. Love you for that.
Listen, he's the most Toon here. Even though usually he's the straight man, like, someone has to.
And we love him for it. And Azumi says to you, Professor, is that so?
Yes. There are a few people, let's see, Moria found out most of this. There are some people who are odd things are happening. There is I actually didn't really think much of it, but Moria pointed out that it was sort of odd. Um, there's uh, there's a public security commissioner, Kabaraki, who's um, rooting out corruption in among her ranks with actual evidence, and people are actually facing repercussions, which he sort of like glances around like, I'm in a police station. Doesn't seem quite typical. Um, and then also there was somebody who, what was it, high school student who was trying to go for a um, scholarship that they couldn't really have. It would have been extremely difficult to obtain, and then suddenly it was handed to them out of nowhere. Um, I there's just something happening in Okashima.
Put it all together with what's been happening with you, there's a little too many coincidences there, don't you think?
Somebody is pulling a lot of very powerful strings.
And how should I put this? Sumi does seem to, like, pause and kind of, bring a hand to his chin as he thinks on this. And I think, I did roll a history for the recording. I did roll history for, Naoya's, wow! Words! Naoya rolled history, earlier, during that description. I think what he's going to do is, he looks over, and he says, well, Commissioner Kaburaki has been on that case for quite some time now. Is that really that unusual?
How much time?
That would have been since, almost 3 years ago now? It was after the Spirit Rogues and the strange case with Anna.
And
Well,
when did the effort start becoming successful?
Well, she did arrest Otama with the help of the investigator. And then after that, there was... I forgot the term for the rank above commissioner. Is it chief commissioner?
yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And
I could be wrong.
And yeah, I think what she ends up saying is what he ends up saying, is that, well, a month or two after that would have been, well, the chief commissioner above her had been found out in terms of blackmail. There had been reports of the commissioner, the chief commissioner, accepting bribery and whatnot.
And this was also 3 years ago, or was this more recent?
This was 3 years ago, yes.
All right. Well, that doesn't quite line up with sort of our timetable, and he glances at Camille. But 3 years is not outside of the realm of possibility either, because we have no reason to think that this person was that their first action was in regards to Azumi.
And you see Naoya kind of tilt his head at that before he looks towards Azumi expectantly. And Azumi doesn't really say anything to that look. And he says, that would imply that our culprit has been at this for a very long time.
They very well may be. After all, assuming they're working through mundane means, which we have no reason to actually assume that, but if at least some of their methods are that sort, these sort of things do take time to develop and form, to make connections this strong.
There is still something that's off about all that's happening. Me quickly scrolling through to double check information.
Take your time.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing a minute ago.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys need to take the time to like do that, take all the time you
Yeah.
need.
Oh, I forgot the search function. You could use that. You could think of a keyword.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to correct myself. It's not investigator, it was inspector. Because Seikichi is an inspector.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, Camille is okay. I mean, we can't say for sure yet whether or not it was magical or whatever, or mundane, maybe
Mm.
even a mix, but I mean, probably a mix considering.
Mhm.
It can't be. We can probably roll out it being wholly mundane means.
Right.
There are some other weird points too, like most of the officers who were around when Shiro was don't really seem to remember him. And
Azumi kind of just rolls his eyes at that, and he says, I don't see anything strange with that. The media moves on rather quickly here.
well, there is a difference between the media and people you've worked alongside.
It's not
Azumi, you were murdering people under their noses. You made them look like idiots.
it's not like I actually had strong connections with them, did I?
No, but oh God, any law officer worth their, or not worth, the threads on their uniform would take offense at somebody making such a fool of them like that.
Not to mention, even in general, officers do tend to hate when someone, uh,
Shows them
even
up.
especially if they're younger and are most definitely smarter and better at their job than the
Yes.
officer.
And Moria said there was a bit of that, but then they got over it. Which I don't know. He just sort of looks skeptical.
Thank you, audience. Oh, great. Hang on.
Uh,
What was Azumi gonna say? I think actually what happens instead is that Naoya does kind of like nod in agreement with you two,
Mm.
and he says, given the severity of this, whatever it is that you've stumbled into, you can't exactly discard the, what's the word? Fuck.
Uh,
the the
Significance?
significance. Thank you.
Mm.
The significance of of this information.
it seems like there's just a lot of very unlikely or sometimes even impossible things happening. But weirdly enough, the only common trend I can really see is that it's making people's lives easier.
Yes. It does seem to be. That's the
The
thing that's the most odd about this.
scholarship, you getting acquitted. I mean, even the officers forgetting about you, that would be easier than them holding a grudge.
Mhm. Actual corruption being taken care of.
Hmm. I think.
Needless
Oh, continue.
needless to say, we think that your strange benefactor is behind this as well.
There's no doubt of that. I think what I think after a moment of pause, Azumi kind of reaches into his pocket as if he just remembered something in the middle of all this, and he pulls out a singular key on a key ring and shows it to you, to the both of you.
What is that?
It's the key to my old apartment.
Why do you have it? How do you have it?
Well, the officers claimed it was with my belongings when they confiscated them. I did not have it while I was in Inkwell.
Exactly.
Is another very odd thing.
Oh, great. So somebody planted it.
Do they... It would make sense for you to not have it in Inkwell because, you were supposed to meet up with someone.
Well, he was just sort of dropped there, as far as we know.
Camille nods. So... maybe it was given to you now so that you'd have somewhere to go back to?
No, they want you to find something there. This is a clue. This is a lead. A deliberate one. Bait.
It's very hard to try and find out their intentions. He kind of just puts his face in his hands and grins because figuring out the intentions of murderers, that's easy. Why the fuck are you randomly doing good things and what am I supposed to get from that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
When it comes to murderers and thieves and all sorts of why are you doing the bad thing, he understands that perfectly. He doesn't understand why good things are happening. So he's just figuring out the intentions is a little bit hard on him right now.
Maybe they've left you a gift basket. A housewarming gift.
At this rate, that wouldn't surprise me. He does sound incredibly annoyed when he says that.
I'm starting to regret how gift baskets have become a recurring thread in our lives.
Oh?
I don't think you told Azumi about that.
Gosh, if they all turn to look at him, he'll just pause. I'll talk about that later.
Alright.
I think what ends up happening is that thank you baby. I think what ends up happening is that Naoya pauses in between all this and I think what he says how does he phrase it? Oh god, I don't know how he would phrase it. Give me a sec. I think he turns back to Azumi and he says, "This wasn't anybody close to your contractor, was it? Because the only a possible motive would be assuming that there is guilt connected to this, a guilty conscience of some kind, but other than that... And, I think Azumi just kind of frowns at that, and he says, I didn't exactly, Ooh, how do you phrase this? I didn't exactly get along with the types that Endo associated with. We both agreed that for the sake of business, we would keep some distance between ourselves, just in case suspicions arise.
That said,
Can
it's...
Camille insight that?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. What were you saying, Oatmeal?
Oh, he was just gonna say, that said, it's not completely out of the question, since they had at least one subject of interest in common.
And Azumi pauses, and he kind of tilts his head back, and he says, cognitive science.
Yes.
Entirely likely.
Camille!
Oh my god, for the audience,
Bruh!
that was a 30, a dirty 31. Ugh.
I'm
Wow.
so sorry for my boy. I guess he's just really worried.
You can tell that when Azumi is talking about what's his name, Endo and the quote-unquote types he associates with, he is holding back on a lot of vitriol, I think is how you pronounce it.
Vitriol.
Vitriol, thank you. Vitriol, when he talks about them. He despises those people very much. But there is, like, actual truth behind how, for the sake of keeping their, mental shutdown business running smoothly, they decided that the detective prince and the prime minister, or the candidate for prime minister, there we go, kept some distance for the time being.
Right, if you're not seen together, there's less suspicion.
Okay, fun. Filing that away.
Well, it's...
Just-
Huh? Continue?
Oh, well, the professor was gonna ask for something, but you should probably go ahead first.
Well, it's known as though that, cognitive science is something that's well known and researched into. In fact, Endo made it a point to keep that subject to himself, so to speak. He had me kill another researcher for that information.
That would have been... Oh god, can you give me the name of Iwata's last name? Because I can't remember it.
You mean, Ichika's?
Ichika. Yeah.
It's, Ashikaga.
Ashikaga. You mean Ashikaga?
And you,
Oh.
Oh boy. Yeah, okay. Oh, if I can remember the command. That was a deception. That was a 28 on deception.
Okay.
And what he does is he nods and says, Ashikaga-san's mother, yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember her actual name. I could have sworn I gave her an actual name.
Oh, Camille!
Oh my god, Camille?
Coming in clutch.
Camille, please. Fuck you.
Let me put this in funny terms because this is the only way I know how to describe it.
Fair.
The impression of someone having opened a box, looked inside it, and then closing it immediately.
Fair. Camille understands that. He's no less worried. He's not gonna call Azumi out on it yet, partially because he does not know how much Naoya knows. He's gonna assume that Naoya doesn't know about the whole, being dead thing.
Oh yeah.
But
that is a fair assumption to make.
So he's gonna play it safe with most of the stuff he knows.
Man, you've immediately put that song in my head.
Oh god, where was I?
Enjoy the singing. Camille had just Professor had said Achikaga, and Azumi nodded.
I cannot remember what I named her actual mother. I know her first name. Funnily enough, her last name is different, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was.
It is? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a long, complicated thing that will probably be explained in the FPS with Ichika, but...
Well, that's alright. Professor would have assumed it was the same anyway, so that works in character.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why Azumi clarified Ashikaga-san's mother. But yeah, he does kind of nod at that. There was something else that I was going to say, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, that's one connection that we can cross from our list. Possible other lines to follow. I have another one, actually.
And Azumi kind of looks towards you.
Yes, let's see. A friend of Arata's, what's his name?
Masaru.
Masaru. A friend of Arata's, his old school counselor has been researching cognitive science. He even had a book about it that he left at Legree. Convenient, now that I think about it. But we should probably see if we can talk to him and see if he knows anybody else. I mean, because if he's a researcher, in a small field like that, anyone studying it probably knows everyone else studying it.
And
have been planning to talk to Masaru-san at some point, though it might be best if you do as well. I'm not sure how much you would share with me.
Yes. I'd been hoping to talk to him. And yes, showing up there by yourself, I'm not sure quite how far you'd get.
Well, there was also some other stuff I wanted to talk to him about.
Understandable.
He's not gonna elaborate. Don't
Yeah.
worry about
He's not asking.
it.
Some shit
If
happens and you need to talk to a counselor. That's it.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking. If Camille's gonna seek out therapy on his own volition, he's not going to he's not going to
Discourage it.
discourage that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Did you say Masaru's name by any chance?
Probably, yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
give me a second.
I was trying to find it.
Alright. Okay. I am impressed that Azumi remembers this.
Hmm.
Give me a second. What's your history? Oh, it's not great. But that is a dirty 20.
Momi Masaru. Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. And, like, you see Azumi's brows furrow as he says, Tomomi Masaru.
Hmm.
Do recognize the name. Was among a person of interest among Endo's notes. Apparently he'd been planning to break ground on the research before the well, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but undoubtedly Endo put an end to that research before it could get anywhere, so to speak. That was before and he makes a gesture.
Yes. Quite. Well, that's interesting, because Jeannie told me he was thinking of, let's see, using, was it changing the way that using some sort of method, change the way that people see the world to help with, trauma and such things.
And you see Izumi kind of think on that, and he says, there is quite a bit of speculation in the field. It is very difficult to get a grasp of. But the idea has merit, so to speak. By changing the way a person perceives their situation, they may be able to cope better with such trauma.
Well, it's worth looking into, I would think.
I think so as well.
I'm going to say, for like clarity's sake, Naoya probably has stepped to the side because this is something he doesn't know anything about.
Yeah.
It
would be interesting to see where his theories differ from regular cognitive behavioral therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Do not worry about why the 7-year-old
that
is
is.
talking about cognitive behavioral therapy. It's fine.
God, I love that. I love it.
Sometimes I step back and remember that Camille's supposed to be pretending he's 7. Sometimes he forgets.
It's so funny.
I can probably try and talk to him more about that. I don't know too much about cognitive science?
Well, we've got that book. I think Arata's got it. I can take a look through it.
There isn't a lot you can find on the subject because Endo made sure of that.
Well, we'll just have to find out what we can.
Indeed.
That does honestly make it all the more worth looking into. Since if he wanted it stopped, it was probably for a reason.
Oh,
And if
no, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that whatever you might find might not be a lot. So,
well, we already don't have a lot, so you keep adding it together, maybe it'll eventually add up.
Well, and if we become truly desperate, I may be able to make a visit to the establishment where he's being held.
oh, okay. Are you guys saying that in reference to Endo?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh! Uh-oh!
You know what? Actually, we're gonna do it this way. Oh, okay. No, you're fine. Okay.
Okay.
Got that Kalash Tar advantage.
Got that clash
Thank
star
goodness
advantage.
for the Clash Star advantage.
You see Azumi kind of like tense up a little bit before he looks away from that. And he again, the impression of him just like opening a box and then closing it again.
Yeah. Camille is going to hold off on the argue all rights until he assumes that Azumi probably isn't in the mood to talk about his feelings in the middle of the police station.
Yeah.
That reminds me. I had a thing I wanted to do.
Oh.
After they've sort of had this exchange and like trailed off a bit, the professor just tilts his head and he says, "Azumi dear, would you hold still a moment and give me your hand?"
And he kind of looks at you and kind of squints and says, "Why?"
Because I want to check something.
Alright. He's going to give you his hand.
Professor is going to do two things. One of them is a spell, one of them is a check.
Okay.
He is going to do a medicine check as best he can without, like... Oh, that's actually quite good. Without actually, seeing much of him, but just sort of like having been observing him in this room, such and such. All right, medicine. That's 17. And the other thing he's going to do is cast Identify.
Alright. Was there anything specific that you were trying to find with the...
With the medicine check, just, is he okay? Has he been hurt in any subtle ways that somebody might not have picked up on, or he's hiding, or anything like that? He's straight up looking for like physical injuries and stuff,
alright, yeah,
or
no.
any
Okay.
signs of like neglect or especially bad treatment.
Physical injuries? No. No injuries, no use of, I'm gonna have to clarify this, because, they do this in canon Persona 5. No use of, like, any, like, truth serum, quote-unquote. No use of, like, more, aggressive means of trying to get information. If nothing else, Azumi just kind of looks tired, but not, like, in the neglect sense, more in the sense of he was being interrogated and he got tired of repeating himself.
Yeah, probably not getting a whole lot of sleep, etc. Yeah.
So he's
all right.
Fine.
That's good. And for the identify, if there are any spells affecting him, or that funny effect that he was able to detect last time. The sort of staticky thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay. No spells on Azumi. The modified Geas is gone. That remnant of that, like, revival magic has faded away completely by now because it's been so long.
Ages. Yeah.
Yeah. Maki, don't bite me. Roll me a con save.
Oh, delighted to. All right, let's see. What's your save modifier? Okay, that's a 10.
Oh, dear. Okay. Yeah, you do hear that microphone feedback sound again. And you're not, like, injured. You don't take actual damage or anything, but that feeling of, like, static in the tips of your fingers does come back.
Yeah, he's half expecting it this time, so he doesn't like pull away so quickly, but he does just sort of like stop, observe it, and pull his hand away very calmly. And then he does start like rubbing at it with his other hand. Well, you seem to be in decent health. That's good.
And Azumi takes a deep breath and says, "Yes, well, Sai-san has been upfront with not allowing the police to take alternative methods." And he kind of grits his teeth when he says that.
Yeah, Camille definitely relaxes when he hears that. Though he is still squinting at the both of them because, hey! What's all about him? Who's sort of just, are you both alright?
I'm trying to think, because I'm looking over Identify. There's nothing about School of Magic, but I feel like that would be something you could pick up anyway.
I mean, it's divination. Oh, yeah. Yeah, now that's usually detect magic, but if you want to give that to me, you may.
Let me look something up real quick.
Yeah, if Professor mentions that he was trying to find something, Camille does know detect magic.
He doesn't mention it. He hasn't said anything about this. He just asked Azumi for his hand.
God, I forgot about the spells in this class.
That's you.
Identify does give a lot about an item and not a lot about a person, so like I think you'd be within your right to give extra, but you also do not have to because the rules say you don't have to.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to hold off on that in that case.
Okay.
Yeah. probably something for later, I guess. And again, Professor, this doesn't feel like something that was intentional, because again, the spells that you had identified before,
Right.
are gone now.
Right.
It just feels like residual. There you go.
Yeah.
It just feels residual, and this effect wasn't intended to like do anything.
Yeah. He's just sort of idly like rubbing at his fingers and flexing his his hand.
Yeah. You alright there?
I'm fine.
Camille is squinting.
I mean, you can see him doing this.
It's just, you're literally rubbing your hand, and I know why you do handshakes, Professor.
Oh. God, you're really gonna out him like this in front of Naoya?
He's not saying anything specific, and he's probably trying to talk in a low tone.
Yeah, Naoya did give you guys a bit of space because this did seem like more something that you guys know. Because again, he doesn't know shit, nor Jack about cognitive science.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Camille is talking in a low tone to try and...
No, Camille, it wasn't that. It was a touch spell.
Which was?
Identify. Which doesn't usually have that sort of feedback.
No, it doesn't. Did you find anything?
No. Just the same thing I found. Back when they reunited. It's the same odd thing. The rest is gone, as it should be.
Well, it does that with a touch spell. Not as specific, but I can try detect magic.
You can. Sammy wasn't able to get anything last time, but by all means, try.
Is worth a shot. And he's gonna cast detect magic.
Alright, for the duration, Okay,
I love that this is a area of effects.
It is so funny.
Yeah, so he can see, or sense magic on anything within 30 feet of him.
Yep.
So,
I'll hold on to my stuff until you want.
Alright, okay.
Probably limited to this room because I imagine that they would probably make sure spells wouldn't get through.
Yeah.
There's probably not too many magical things, like 15 feet outside anyway. It's like desks and crap.
Yeah.
As I try to think of how to, like, where to start. Okay. As Maki tries to be cute to get scritches. Where do I start? I think I'll just start with Azumi and then do, like, the smaller stuff.
Alright.
Let me put it this way. Professor, the feeling of like static numbness in your fingertips is starting to fade away, and because it's fading pretty quickly, Camille, you can also see that like aura of magic at his fingertips fading away too. But you you detect it as shit, what was it called? Dunamancy. There we go.
Ooh.
that is very... Okay, Maki, stop trying to bite me. That is very, I completely ruined my train of thought. You do detect dunamancy that is starting to fade away very quickly. Almost, again, like, it wasn't intended for this effect to, like, happen. Your intelligence mod, is it a +3?
It is a +4.
Okay. Oh, that makes your investigation mod pretty... What's your passive investigation? Let me...
His passive investigation is a 22.
Okay, yeah, no, you get this. Combined with the fact that this might not have been an intended effect, and the fact that, it is fading away really quickly, you suspect that, again, how do I put this into words? You suspect that whoever did this has not perfected the method.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what you detect with the weird staticky thing. With Azumi, by the way, I'm branching off of that's the big thing that you get. This is the more smaller stuff. Azumi has magic items on him. You do notice that he does have some form of sending stone that looks a little weird. Because, oh shoot, what was... I do not remember the actual spell type.
Sending is divination, I believe?
You do definitely see the divination of the sending stone, but there was something else that I added to it that I completely forgot what it is because it was a specific spell.
Fair.
I want to say it was transmutation or conjuration. One of those two.
Fair. If it's for what I think it is, it might be conjuration.
Yeah, it might be conjuration in that case. Anyway. So you do pick that up on Azumi. On Naoya, I was supposed to give him a magic item earlier, and I completely forgot to do that, so I don't have that bit of lore yet. But he does have in his pocket, what appears to be a pair of glasses that have some form of divination magic on them.
Interesting.
Does a wiggle and points at any Persona 4 fans who know what's going on.
I have a vague idea. Yeah, okay, that's fun. Makes mental note of all that.
Would you like to know what Professor has?
Sure.
All right. His coat lights up very brightly with warding magic. I don't think there's any specific class, but it's this is a legendary item.
God, I always forget.
Yeah.
There's a ring on his finger which seems magical. Still doesn't seem to have a specific type of magic. I don't know what you would do. Probably conjuration. Something. I don't know. Let's see. There's various things that you can't detect, and then Oh, there's a small bit of uh oh, what type of magic would this be? Um, oh wait, what's that spell? Yeah, probably there's transmutation um something uh like uh like just under his scarf, like probably like where a necklace would fall.
Hmm.
Other than that, I don't think he has uh anything else because all the rest of his stuff's in his pockets and you can't detect them there because that's an extra dimensional space technically.
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah. Oh, he's wearing his pin. There's a pin with um more dunamancy magic on it. Um uh on his lapel. Uh and yeah, that's it.
Fun. Okay. Yeah, I think Camille's probably trying to take in as much as he can. Does have to squint a little bit when he's looking at Professor.
Uh-huh.
Uh, because the code is bright and that is a lot of surface area, but that's fine. Um,
The
and
professor's just like laughing silently.
uh, he is not gonna dismiss the spell just yet, but he is going to sort of push his glasses up so he doesn't have to deal with that right now. Uh, and sort of just squints at your fingertips, professors. He's just, that was geomancy magic.
Oh. Yeah, he was sort of like gritting because he knew that his coat would like show up as really pretty, and that was
Yeah,
funny to him. But his smile completely drops. Um, Dunamancy?
I
That's not
suppose that
that's not
would,
good.
it would make sense for the sort of stuff we're dealing with, wouldn't it?
Oh, I suppose, but I hoped it wouldn't be something like this.
This probably isn't really too much of a comfort to you, but I don't think the person who, um, I don't think the person who's behind this is, and I think they're still trying to figure some things out.
It's not a comfort at all. That's actually the worst kind.
Yeah, Kale sort of snorts a bit as he just, yeah, that's usually how it tends to go. You know, just enough to be dangerous and not enough how to make sure you're not um
Not enough.
exploding things.
Yes. Fun. Oh, great. Oh, that's just wonderful.
I take it you're pretty familiar with it.
Oh God.
it's it's a
You
little
could
bit
say
of a
that.
rhetorical question,
Oh no,
but
that's not it.
oh
Roll deception.
no, Azumi.
This actually checks out because I'm saving this for something later in the Edo trip.
Mm.
Anyway.
Fair.
Oh
I
God.
can try to roll, but I don't think Camille's gonna beat it.
Mm.
Yeah, no.
Oh no. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Well, you did say you were saving it for later, so...
Yeah. No, you'd have to get a nat 20, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well. Well, that's more information than we had, so that's good. Thank you, Camille.
Sometimes going with what's less precise can be a bit helpful.
Absolutely.
You can tell that he has some questions, TM, and when he did mention you knowing about Dunamancy, he does glance at the pin.
Oh,
but
do you want to roll religion?
Oh boy! Because my boy knows so much about religion.
Your little atheist boy.
My little atheist boy who's never heard of a god in his life.
Finally, a normal roll. Oh, buddy.
For recording's sake, that's a nat 1. My boy has never voluntarily learned about a god in his life.
It's a funny looking pin. Anyways.
Yeah, the only godly tied pin he would recognize would be the Pritch twine pin. So
Oh. I'm so glad I got a recording. Oh god, okay.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't. All he knows is that there's Dunamancy on that pin. Nothing else. And yeah, you can tell that he has some questions, but he's not quite voicing them in this setting because he knows that you do have your secrets. And he figures blurting out, "Why is your coat a legendary item?" Probably the best right now.
Maybe. But, well, based on the amount of paperwork in front of, Sai out there, we'll probably be in here for a bit.
Keep her in your thoughts. She's going through it.
Yeah, I do not envy those who have to deal with paperwork. He's sending mental apologies to Moria, who has to deal with all of the paperwork because they can't exactly give it to a 7-year-old.
Yeah. Yes, I usually leave before the paperwork's involved.
That does sound rather like you.
Azumi doesn't try to hide it, he rolls his eyes. Wow, that was a mean thing that he just handed me. Anyway.
Oh.
He's not voicing it because it's not important.
I
think he says...
Yeah.
Were you saying something?
Oh, you can go first. Camille was just gonna be, like, more checking in.
I think Azumi just kind of, like, after he rolls his eyes and shakes his head, like, of course you would say that. Fucking alien. I think he just says, at any rate... God, how do you phrase things? Oh my god. I hate playing smart characters because they love to put unnecessary words.
Oh, mood.
He says, the combination of dunamancy and, what would you say, inexperience does not bode well.
No, it does not.
It really does not. So at least we do have a little more of a lead.
Yes, well, if we keep an eye out for people capable of dunamancy, that's at least one factor that we can use.
I'm willing to take that lead. So far we have, what else?
2?
Suspicions? He
Well,
just shakes his head.
Well, that's how it always starts.
Well, Shirahata-san, do you have any other insight into this whole mess?
Did you see him look up? He had been holding on to a stone of far speech and had been I guess taking a message, you could say, because Pat's roof of this young man, he is a famous detective. He kind of looks back to you and tucks the stone of far speech away, and I think that was the magic item I was gonna give him. I have to look back. Anyway, he says, oh, his passive insight. Okay, not his passive insight. His passive perception would be. I am on the wrong sheet. There we go. God. Okay, his passive insight would be +3, +5, I think 25? Yeah. And he's level 6. Okay. So he does say, it is difficult to say, and not much of what I can offer isn't exactly anything new. As you said, anybody inexperienced dealing with dunamancy is dangerous, even if they are not intending to be. Of course, we still don't know their motives, but considering that it's not just Azumi-san that they've affected, and not to say in a negative way,
but still. For as much good as they seem to be doing, they are doing all of this without permission.
Indeed.
No one really likes to have stuff done for them without. Okay, yes, I get it. Sorry, he just whoosh at me. No one really, even if it's for what that person thinks is good, no one really likes to be played around with like that.
Yes.
As the saying goes, the road to hell is paved in good intentions.
That is true. even if I am... Yes, Iggy.
He's offering insight. There's a police dog at the station. Don't worry about it.
Oh shit, missile?
Gosh.
And the Camille does tack on at the end, like, even if I am glad that you're out.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Uh-oh!
And I think Azumi just kind of like again glances in your direction when you say that before he kind of like glances away again. Still not sure how to unpack all of that trademark and that being whatever it is he's feeling.
Yeah.
But he does kind of just shake his head and says, at any rate, it does make for quite a bit of convenience now that I'm back on the case.
Yes. It frees up both you and the rest of us.
Indeed. Don't mind.
And at least we did make good on, saying that we would visit.
Speaking of, Naoya, would you mind if we... And he just sort of like glances at the door, glances at Azumi.
Oh, I think he picks up immediately, and he's just he kind of looks between the group, and he goes, "Oh, yes, of course," and he does step outside.
Thank you. And the professor's gonna close the door.
Oh boy!
Oh boy. Camille, he's just gonna shuffle a little bit closer to Azumi. He knows what's happening. Probably, preemptively fishes spades out of his hat.
Professor, like, glances at, Camille, tries to catch his eye, and gives him a sort of, like, go-ahead gesture with his head. Like, you first.
Camille is gonna turn to Azumi, and he is... I shake this boy. He's not good with feelings. He was probably mad. He doesn't know if he's mad anymore. So he is... He is not giving me words. And
The professor then just says, he missed you.
yeah, he will nod at that.
And Azumi sighs and gets down, kind of kneels down in front of you, Camille. Don't roll insight, but he doesn't like give you a gesture or anything. You get the impression that he's opening himself up for a hug, if that's what you want.
Yeah, and Camille is going to give Azumi a hug. A pretty tight one, or as tight as he can. Okay, if you don't want to lose it, then don't shove it where you can't grab it.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, he is going to pull Azumi into a pretty tight hug, or as tight as he's capable of, and pretty quietly just goes, "Don't worry us all like that again, okay?"
Oh god, what do you say? Probably some idiot shit, huh?
Oh boy.
I think he says, I'm fine, Camille. Confused. And, a little... angry. But I am fine, other than that.
Bullshit.
Camille is... Yeah. Thank you, Professor. He was trying to find a better way to say it, and was like turning to look at the professor for help, but yeah, thank you.
Are you still hugging him?
He probably does pull back a little bit, at least to give Azumi some space.
Yeah, he probably stands back up in that case.
Yeah.
Are you still disguised? Hang on.
He probably was while they were... Yeah, he's probably wasn't disguised.
Okay.
I don't think he's dropped it yet.
Okay, no, that's fair. Still thinks it's very, very weird saying to you like that. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But, he does stand back up and he looks towards the professor when you say that.
Mm-hmm. What?
Well, if you want to say something.
You're not fine. You can hide it as much as you as you like, but the fact that you're here at all in this building says that you're not.
Oh, you are stupid, aren't you?
Was that in character?
No, that was me, because looking at Azumi, because he's just, again, doing an eye roll.
Mm-hmm.
Camille will just sigh, and it's just, Shiro, I don't think you're turning yourself in to face justice. It might have felt like that to you, but it's...
This isn't justice.
He'll nods.
Stupid fucking idiot. Okay. He kind of shakes his head and he says, here's the thing, I know this is gonna get y'all angry with him. Mm-hmm. So like I'm trying to like prepare myself for that.
Fair.
And I'm just like I think he's...
Do you need to take a break for the mental prep, or?
No. I will be fine, because I know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just trying to figure out how he's gonna phrase it, which doesn't help his case.
Fair.
Either way, it's still tying up a loose end.
Not really.
Was that in character?
Yes, yeah.
I. You're not just a loose end, Shiro.
Besides, this doesn't tie anything up. This is... Tying things up is facing the people you've wronged. This is not that. The opposite, in fact. Because as long as you're in here, nobody can touch you. Well, nobody from the outside.
Oh boy. Okay. He does kind of pause and he's giving me a gesture. I don't know what the gesture is exactly.
Is it another rolling of his eyes?
No, it was something like he was going to like move his hands to do something, but he kind of like forced himself to stop. In that sense, I just don't know what he was going to do. Either way, his fists are probably clenched, and there's a noticeable pause as you say that. After you say that. And again, he's going to say some stupid shit. Be ready.
Okay.
He says, right. Can we get back to the more important matters at hand? Still have a case to get to the bottom of.
The case can wait.
Not to mention, we did sort of already exhaust what we could find out right now, and
This is the more important matter.
exactly.
Oh, okay. Don't exactly see how it is. Much less I don't see how it's something to concern yourself with. I'm fine.
You're not.
If I'm not, I will deal with it later.
No. You will deal with it now.
Camille started making a gesture at Professor because please help.
How do you... Azumi, what was your intention coming here? What was it supposed to solve? Can you lay it out for me? Explain the process. How does this make things right? How does this tie up loose ends?
Oof, okay. Oof, okay. How do you phrase this? There is no good way to phrase this. I'm going to say outright, it's not him intentionally, like, skirting around the issue. It's him being stupid again, but not in the same sense as earlier. He just says, well, it's only right to put a murderer behind bars.
I disagree.
that so?
Yes.
And Shiro, why do you think it's only right for a murderer to be behind bars?
Is that is that not how it goes? The criminal must be punished.
Punishment isn't justice.
And just because it's the way something goes doesn't mean it's right. We know a lot of things go on here, but that doesn't make them right.
God, he's really not giving me anything. He is just like closed that door and is trying to keep it shut, and he just I think what he says is I still don't quite see how that's important right now.
It is perhaps the most important thing right now.
And he raises a brow and he says, and why is that?
Because it means that your main intention in doing all this, it wasn't about facing what you did, and it wasn't about facing justice. It was just about punishing yourself.
Is that what you think of me?
It
Not
it's the
giving us much of a choice.
logic that you seem to be having right now. You have killed people. You consider yourself a murderer. You think that murderers should be behind bars, and you think that they should be behind bars to punish them.
If any of that's wrong, please do correct us.
I'm trying to think of what he says. Give me a second.
Fair.
Also, if at any point, like, he just doesn't have anything to say, I have plenty to say at him.
No, that's fair. I think,
But if he wants to respond, that's, like, ideal. That's great.
I think what he ends up saying is that. Oh, you're so. Oh, okay. No, that's a terrible thing to say. Okay.
Mm.
It's not as though you guys words. It's I'm trying to figure out how he would phrase this. But essentially what he wants to say is that it shouldn't be their concern because they weren't involved with the crimes when it was happening.
Uh-huh. That's... So? That doesn't...
So don't exactly see how this is any of your concern.
All right, no. So the crimes themselves aren't our concern. You are our concern. You happen to be connected to those crimes because you're the one that committed them. I am not overly concerned about the death of Ichigo's mother or anyone else that you've killed. I am concerned in this moment about you.
And what if I said I wasn't fine? What would you do then? Would you try to fix me? Say don't suit your needs?
Oh, no. No. I would never try to fix you. I would try to help you. I don't want you to change for me. I want you to change for you. And if at the end of it, you hate me, that's fine. It is not my interest that is behind this.
Ah, God. I think he does hesitate at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want you to change who you are.
No.
I just...
Maybe you are incredibly foolish then.
And...
Well, what's our big mistake? Caring about you?
Oof, okay.
Uh-oh!
Okay.
Hang on. I gotta let my cat out. Hold on to that thought.
Okay.
I'll be 2 seconds.
Don't you just love tag teaming on his movie?
Oh, it's so great. Oh, I love being sent
I'm here.
a video from someone who is not even listening in
Oh my god.
on the FPS, and it's a shit post YouTube link, and I just see the title of the video is just how bad it catchy be.
Oh no.
In the middle of all of this.
He be very bad.
He be very, very
Gosh.
bad indeed.
Man.
Why do you like that tube so much?
Was Iggy still at it?
Yeah.
Alright, Oh, okay. I will say, in the midst of what he says next, it doesn't seem like he entirely realizes what he's saying, because, oh boy, you did just kind of step on a nerve.
Uh-huh.
think what he ends up saying is, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I am not a nice person. I have never been a nice person. I have no intention of being nice. So you can save your so-called concern for someone who very well deserves it. Just, this is none of your concern.
I like people that are nice.
Might not be nice, and you might not ever be a nice person, but doesn't mean you can't be a good person. And before you try and stop me and say that I'm wrong, I've gotten to know you pretty well after all this time, and I mean, Shiro, you were there for me the entire time I was in the hospital. You were one of the people who ran after to save me, and you were the one who asked for help when I couldn't. You're... and you're trying, and you are getting better. So, maybe I am biased, but I don't think that you're a bad person. Love those with saves.
Nah.
Oh, that was awful. Okay, oh, that's just the same!
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, give me a sec. Let me...
What the damage?
Oh,
Oh no! Would you like a 4 or a 4?
wow.
Oh.
the sound of whiz saves being rolled. I think it does actually just shut up right then.
Well, then I'll be honest, at least as far as, me, well, even if you were bad, I could still care about you. I've done it before and I'll do it again. I've got a lot of unsavory, friends. So I'm afraid you're not going to be able to use that as a shield. Because that doesn't stop me. And Camille's right. The amount of care that you've shown him is immense. And so he's only right. It's only fair for him to return it to you. There is no one better deserving. Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
God, what is he? Because that was a fucking 4 on his goddamn whiz save.
Yeah.
Cracking him open with like a sledgehammer.
Yep. Sure, breaking him. Anyway.
Uh,
I think he just kind of forces himself to look away. And he kind of mumbles something in Undercommon.
in what?
Undercommon.
Guess who knows common?
Oh. Wait, I've got tongues on.
Yeah, you sure do.
Azumi, gotcha.
Should we roll like perception then?
Yeah, because he is murmuring it.
All right. Well, I didn't get it. That's a 7.
That is a 22.
Thank you, Camille.
Yeah, I know you're mad at me because I touched the computer. That's okay.
Love the sound of Fletch trying to satiate Iggy in the middle of all of this. I think. I think. Azumi, again, he brings a hand to his face as he looks away from the two of you and kind of mumbles. Professor, you don't pick that up, unfortunately. But, Camille... God, I'm not gonna have him... I'm not actually gonna, like, vocally mumble it because, there's no way in hell that my microphone will pick it up. Anyway.
Here.
I think what he says is... He says, oh, I am an idiot. Oh. Is this what I get for getting too close? This would be so much easier if they just hated me.
Man, I think Camille probably does hold Spades a little bit closer at that, because, boy, it's fine. He's dealing with things a bit more productively now.
You got your emotional support two-headed crow.
Yep. Sometimes you just have a funky, funny little crow buddy who is both a manifestation of your trauma and an emotional support animal. Yeah, and he sort of just frowns. He's just, do you want us to hate you?
Good luck with that.
Oh, you're not saying that out loud. Nope.
Oh.
Okay. God. I think what he says, because this is not any better, but at least it's not what he handed me before. He says, maybe then he would stop caring so much.
You could never stop me from caring.
Fortunately, I have the habit of caring for people regardless of who they are or what they do. Let's just say you wouldn't be the first serial killer I've tried to save.
Professor kind of looks at like Camille like a mix of like surprised and impressed.
He has attempted to save two. I guess Azumi would be the third, to be
Oh boy.
exact.
Wow. Well, and I've got this nemesis that's tried to kill me over 100 times, and I still care about him. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's despicable, but I don't hate him. I don't know if I can.
It was sort of all over from the start for us.
Okay, that's me, I'll be laughing. Yeah, God, no, he's not giving me anything.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, that's why you're not giving me anything. You're panicking. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So our detective boy is in the middle of a panic attack. Does anybody want to insight and see that?
Yeah.
Oh, duh. Alright, hang on. I mean, that's going to be nothing, but that's 14.
Out of 25.
I guess with a 14, I can at least give you this. That, the way he's clenching his fists seems to be less out of anger and more like he's trying to keep them from shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Camille, yeah, it's that bad.
Yeah, okay. Camille's probably definitely eyes widen as he notices that and sort of turns to the professor as he's just he does still have message. Sort of
Love how you had to check.
listen, he's
Cast.
I hate being triple classed is a nightmare. I do not recommend it, but it's fine. One day he'll go back to a regular old double class. Yeah, Camille brings the bow tie up, or very subtly sort of pulls at it and gives Professor the message of Shiro's having a panic attack.
Alright, let's all sit down. On the floor. And Professor's going to do that. He is in front of the door, I will note.
Camille will probably follow suit.
God. Azumi watches you very carefully, and it gives the same impression of, like, a very cornered animal watching you. Warily, in that sense. You know the way.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, as you sit down, and as Camille sits down, there is, like a beat or two before he very uncertainly kind of just sits back down.
Professor's gonna, without making like sudden movements, because now he's being careful. He's gonna reach into his pocket and take out two things. One, a ration bar, just sort of a protein bar type thing, um, and a candle, just a unlit, like just a candle, and he's gonna reach over uh and put them in front of Azumi. Um and he sort of leans back and gestures at the candle and says, um you might want something to do with your hands. I find it uh fun to sort of scrape at these things.
He takes the candle. There is definitely like very big like hesitation as he takes it, but he is taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Camille will also hold out spades if Azumi wants.
All right, okay. Dice has decided that he takes it.
Oh.
Yeah, spades probably lets out two little chirps, one from each head, as they get comfy on Azumi. Sort of just nuzzle him a bit.
Hmm.
He does like crows.
Hmm.
I don't know if he's calling down though.
Yeah,
Do we need to get out calm emotions, or?
Ooh.
Uh,
I mean, that only lasts a minute. Um, uh, hmm. Do you want I I don't know if it would occur to Professor to use that, um, or to offer it even. Uh, Let me roll intelligence to see if he remembers that that's a thing. No, no, he doesn't.
Man, I mean, Neil also technically knows it, but I don't know if he knows it.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, you know what? He might. Let me see if I can.
Wow, okay, give me a sec.
Okay.
Better type that out.
That's a 15. I think that's probably enough to recognize that calm emotions exist.
Hmm.
Perhaps.
A 15? Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. If you want it to be Arcana, then that would be a 19. So yeah, it's fine.
Hmm.
Emil sort of furrows his brows a bit as he's just, um, do you think something like calm emotions would help, or do you just would it be better if we just sat here for a bit?
I think Azumi. Ooh, that's a new response. Okay. Azumi tenses and kind of just shakes his head.
And Camille will nod and uh He will nod, and he's not gonna try and cast it, but he does want to try and find another way to try and help comfort Azumi.
Looks at him anyway.
Yeah.
At the very least, I did roll the whiz save again, but still not doing great. He got a 9, but that is better than the earlier 4, if nothing else. Gently petting Spades has helped a little bit.
I think Professor thinks a bit and with like a flick of his wrist, there's like a brief sort of like orange sort of like halo around Azumi's head, because he's cast Intellect Fortress, which gives advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
He already has advantage.
It stacks!
It stacks?
It stacks.
Stacks depending on DM.
Oh, well, I guess.
Yeah.
But
right.
Some DMs are just like, yeah, roll 3 times. Some DMs are add a +5 to that. Or some DMs are just, no, it doesn't stack.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? I think in this case, as he's going through it, that he probably deserves that additional 5.
Yeah. I think so.
Give me a sec as I roll that again. God, that means his modifier is a 7 for this roll.
Now, I don't know if Azumi knows what that is, but...
I don't think he recognizes it. Did get a 21.
Hey.
At the very least, he does stop shaking. But, oof. He does not meet either of your gazes.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Ready for pushing.
Do you want to roll another insight?
I'll do my best.
Alright.
That's another 14.
You know what?
That is a... Okay, please, Iggy, let me type it in!
Yeah.
Professor's dealt with small children, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then I do feel comfortable giving you this much. There is something about Azumi right now that seems, less young adult and more scared child.
And Camille is gonna hold his hand out to see if Azumi is alright with a touch. And
I don't know. Hang on.
fair.
guess that's a no.
Yeah, he will withdraw his hand then.
Yeah, no, Azumi just, when you, like, extend your hand, he kind of just shakes his head, like, now's not a good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Camille will nod and put his hand away, because sometimes you don't need touch.
Yeah. Hmm. That's all right, dear. You just go ahead and sort that out. We're patient. You'll be here.
Take all the time you need.
See, the funny thing about this is that he's been panicking, but this entire time, he has not given me tears, which is kind of impressive.
That's fair.
So
Yeah.
worrying. But I guess
But the kind
I
of,
guess it does also work for your plans, because I remember you mentioning something.
yeah.
But Buddy's repressed. This fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he does not have enough tears to give. Which means I'm the one who's getting them.
Aw.
Oh no!
Give me a sec.
Hmm.
I think after a moment, he does try to, like, speak again. And he just says, I think the only thing he says is, I just don't understand.
Well, unfortunately, that makes sense. You were never taught this. You were alone from a very young age, and nobody cared about you for a very long time. So it is understandable that you would not know what it is like, or how to deal with it.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. He kind of lowers his head again and is still not meeting your gaze.
Mm-hmm.
And he, I think, he opens his mouth as if to say something else, but I think what he ends up saying instead is, I ended up hating Satomi for the exact same thing.
Wonder if that was because you didn't understand it?
There was a lot about him that I didn't understand.
You've said as much.
Above all, I tried to kill him twice. I don't understand why he would keep caring. It would be so much easier just to not do so.
As it's easier to think that there's just something inherently unlovable about you instead of confronting the injustice that you were capable of being loved this whole time and weren't.
He does kind of flinch at that.
I simply do a funny little jig in character development.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, no, Camille's character development, Azumi's character unraveling.
Yeah.
Honestly, when it comes to why people still care about you, people always try to find reasons to hate someone or to justify why they've done something bad. I've heard 1,000,001 excuses for those, but when it comes to caring about someone, to saving them, I don't think there's a logical reason needed. I care about you because I want to, and I'm pretty sure for Arata it's the same way.
If I may posit something, Arata may have looked past your trying to kill him twice, because he had known you well enough that he could see that you'd been hurt and that you were not doing this because you wanted to. You were doing it, well, he may not have known all the details, but you were doing it because he ordered you to, and you were following those orders so that you could get close to him, so that you could kill him because you wanted revenge, because you cared so much about what he did to you.
Stop. And he just kind of puts his face in his hands. Yeah, that one did get him.
Yeah.
And I love the cognitive dissonance with the baby giggling in the background.
Yeah, no, there's tons of cognitive dissonance right now because I'm quite literally laying on the floor so that way Iggy doesn't lose his shit.
Love that.
Yeah. I might not know the full story, but sounds like you were a victim too, Shiro.
From the very start.
Oh, that is okay. So, the sentimentality that Azumi's not saying out loud, because he wouldn't say this out loud, is something along the lines of, I want to go home.
Oh. Oh, that hurts.
Man.
Here's the thing though. He doesn't really have a home to go to.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that. Ugh.
And thank you, audience. He just kind of just sits there with his head in his hands, almost like his fingers are just like threading through his hair, and it looks like he's trying to keep himself from like pulling at it.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like he is literally trying to pull himself back together.
Mm-hmm.
And Spades probably gives a gentle chirp and a small headbutt. Less, like, powerful than an actual headbutt. Like, more like trying to nuzzle him. Just little head bonk. Times 2.
Alright. Let's try this again. How long does Intellect Fortress last?
Oh, a while if I remember. A concentration up to an hour.
Okay, yeah. Alright, let's do this again. That first one was pretty good. Better by 1, okay.
Yay!
I think with the head bonk, the little nuzzle, he does look back up again, and he just kind of holds Spades in his hands and just kind of looks down at the little bird.
Given another chirp.
God, nobody knows what his code name was. Okay.
No, this was entirely by coincidence.
Yeah, nobody knows what nobody in this room knows what Azumi's code name was when he had been working with the Spirit Rogues, but for audience sake, it was Karasu, which is the Japanese word for crow. And like it is he does kind of smile a little bit when Spades chirps at him. And I think what he
Emotional support animal.
Emotional support animal. Anyway, I think he just kind of sighs and just says, "I don't think I will ever be able to understand."
It is something that can be learned.
And
but
he does kind of look up to you.
Until then, it may suffice just to accept it until such a time as you can understand it.
Oh, that's a funny question. He looks very hesitant in asking this, but almost like he thinks it might be a stupid question, but he just asks, "How do I do that?"
It's not exactly easy, and it can look different for everyone, since everyone's different, of course, but sometimes it can just be taking a deep breath and trying to let go the urge to fight.
You can start with not pushing people away when they try to help. You may keep your personal boundaries, but you do not have to shield yourself from the caring intent of other people.
And, of course, you don't have to accept it all at once either.
No.
Sometimes it's just taking little steps, and if someone or something's moving too fast, then you can always say no and put it off until you're ready.
This is true. It can also help to evaluate yourself and figure out what would be the best way for somebody to care for you. What way could somebody show you care that would be useful to you, that would help you? And this can be difficult. It takes a good deal of self-reflection and some trial and error. You may have to make the decision to see one thing at a time. Will this work for me or will it not? Try it and then see if it does or doesn't. And if it doesn't, then you may refuse it. And if it does, then that would be something to keep in your portfolio to use when you may need it, or to accept it when it's offered.
I don't know. I think the portfolio analogy kind of got him to like laugh a little. A very very soft chuckle.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like he's about to say something before his mouth closes and he changes his mind and takes another deep breath as he says, I can try.
That's just the best you can do.
Often trying is really all we can do.
Mm. He just kind of nods at that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I just noticed time. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Listen, sometimes you have many emotions.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I can wrap this up pretty quickly because like I don't have much of anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem like a pretty good place to wrap up at the very least, so I can give you guys a little bit of a closing sequence. So Sai does eventually finish with the paperwork. Azumi is free to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think what Naoya does is that he says that he has to go somewhere. That's why he was like talking on the Stone of Far speech for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he but he does tell the lot of you. He gives you his contact information. And says that if there is anything you need need help with in regards to this case, to let him know. And you do find out that he is from a small town called Fuefuki.
Huh.
And woof. And yeah, you guys are free to leave the police station. And Azumi sure does have a lot to sort through right now, because between finding out that somehow his apartment is still available, he doesn't know what he's going to do next. And God, that conversation took the wind out of him.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, I will say the professor would offer him to either stay at the hotel and or in the ellipsis if he doesn't want to face his old apartment just yet.
Yeah, I think he does take you up on the offer, at least with the ellipsis, because he doesn't say it outright, but out of character, he does not want to bring attention to himself from Hatsumi just yet.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's fair. The ellipsis is kind of a good hiding spot.
Yeah. I think he just needs to gather himself for a bit, because in his mind, it really does feel like he is trying to cross this huge gaping chasm, and he doesn't know how to do it yet. And I think that's a metaphor I can leave off on just for now. And thank you all so much for listening in, both now and in the future. And thank you guys so much for playing this FPS with me.
Yeah, Yeah,
It
it was
was-
great.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I hold Azumi so gentle. It really just seemed like whenever Professor Azumi and Camille are in the same place, Azumi will have a panic attack.
Hmm.
He just doesn't know how to handle that care.
Yeah.
Of course,
It's
I'm not gonna
fine.
make it a gag. He's real kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's only happened twice so far.
um. Uh. But
Yeah, this was great.
yeah. With that, we bid you all a good time zone.
Bye.
Bye.